Welcome everybody to the panel discussion for the Toronto International Nollywood Film Festival, TINFF, which will recognize, encourage, and challenge and promote filmmakers by helping to develop an understanding of equality, social justice, non-discrimination, diversity, and multiculturalism. The format of this session is going to be that we're first going to go around, introduce everyone. Actually, you'll introduce yourselves. Just state your name, what country you're from, your occupation, the name of the film, and the role that you played with it. And then we'll have a bit of a general discussion, and then we'll just close things off.
My name's Amaduga. I'm a filmmaker and actor here in Canada, Vancouver. And yeah, I'm the director, co-producer, writer, and lead actor for my film Ranbir, which is screening at the festival. I'm in Canada.
My name's Farah Furtado, and I'm a filmmaker, and I'm also a teacher of mindfulness, and I'm Portuguese Canadian. So, and I've spent over 17 years living in Asia. So I'm, I don't know, I kind of live out of my suitcase, I guess you could say, for many, many years. And my role was the writer. I was also in the film, a producer, and I was inspired to create this film. So,
which film?
It's Atha Gamma.
My name is TV, but you can call me T. TV Malu. I'm from Nigeria, filmmaker, photographer, and an entrepreneur. My film is titled The Hookup. In it, I was the writer.
My name is Christian Igbenovia. I'm Nigerian American, a filmmaker and a storyteller, an artist. My film is The Love Between Us.
My full name is Jasmine Campanelli. I'm an actor from Vancouver, Canada. And my project is called #Model Life. It's actually a 6-part web series. And it's about the modeling industry and my experience in it. And yeah, what else was I supposed to say?
And what film was it?
So it's actually a web series, and it's called #Model Life.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that's interesting. That's the way of the future.
My name is Manny Nasri. I was born in Afghanistan. I was raised and groomed in Canada. My feature film is called We. My full-time job is pretty much, right now, it's just distribution and marketing and publicity, and just getting prepared for TIFF and things like that.
I'm TJ Isioro Tukumbo Jaboro. That's my full name. I am a filmmaker, and I'm also the founder of TINFF. I'm happy to have you guys here. This is our 3rd year, and the festival is growing each year. I can tell you that, you know, and I'm really excited. I'm really impressed with the way things are going, and I'm excited for you guys too, you know. I can say here that if I can recollect correctly, that most of the films I'm hearing here are winners. You guys are already aware, but some are multiple award winners, you know, but you only get to know that on that day, on the 7th, you know, so I can't tell you that.
Hi, everyone.
Great.
My name is Lee Austin. I co-produced a short film called Awake. I was also an actress in it as well. It's about mental health, but it has a funny way of, not a funny way, but like a very subtle way of showing you, you know, what can happen depending on what type of mental health issue you have.
I am, my name is Fivos Simelos. I'm from Greece. And first of all, I want to apologize about my bad relationship with the English language. I'm sorry about my vocabulary and grammar. I'm so sorry. And I'm the producer, writer, and director of a film named Obsession. I live in Athens, in Greece. And I'm so glad to talk with everybody.
Fantastic. And I think your English is great. That extra accent is super. It's just like Schwarzenegger, you know,
after
a
few minutes, you will understand.
So, and Farshad, what film are you guys doing, and what are your roles?
Gotcha. Yeah, the film is called Empathy.
What country are you from?
Canada.
Okay,
Toronto.
super. Okay, why did you guys get involved in the film industry in the first place?
As a Nigerian and as Africans, there's a whole lot of our stories, our histories, our traditions, our customs that haven't been properly told to the world. And sometimes when you don't tell a story yourselves, it's not properly being told by outsiders. And so we have so many stories to tell, very rich history, and I think even Hollywood is keen into the whole African theme, with the Lion King and things like that. So I think there's a big space. I think Africa is the next frontier, and I really want to be a part of that, telling that story.
I got involved in the film industry because I wanted to be able to tell my own stories. I wanted to create opportunities for people like me, women like me, and be able to tell our stories from our own perspectives. I am also working on other feature films as well as series. But Awake was the first film that I actually took a part in creating, co-producing. So I helped make sure that that was able to come to be. It was someone else's dream, but I really loved the story and I really loved the role that I had in the film as an actor. And so I decided to work on that as my first film.
What inspired you to make your particular movie?
Because it dealt with mental health, I wanted to talk about that, especially within the Black community. We tend to kind of shove it under the rug. And so I liked the way that the story was told. It was shoved in your face. It was still, it was dealt with in a subtle manner. And so I wanted to be able to take part in that.
I was born and raised in Nigeria, and I came to New York when I was 15. And our story revolves around it's a young immigrant couple who are struggling to make a good life for themselves in New York, and their marriage suffers from the disappointments and the trials. So what inspired me was a bit of experience, and I think a lot of times we don't get to see that story of, a lot of times it's the idea you come to America and you just make it, but it's a lot of struggle and a lot of things you go through. And for me, why I got into storytelling is because from a kid, I always loved story. I always I enjoyed hearing stories, and I loved creating stories. It was like an outlet for me, a form of expression.
The name of your movie again?
The Love Between Us.
Awesome.
I'm a man who doesn't easily express his feelings and his thoughts. And sometimes because I'm very shy, and I found the solution through the cinema.
My movie took place in India, so there were plenty of challenges there. And there was a memory that I have last year of creating the film. So there was creative challenges, and there was also financial challenges. However, we pushed through our limits, and we never quit, and we came up with something very beautiful and unique. And I think that challenge turned into the best thing, because now I see that people really love this film, and it makes them feel uplifted and inspired, and it just made the challenge and overcoming the challenge of finishing the film completely worth it. So it's the best, and also it's a challenge as well.
The name of your film again?
It's Alpha Gamma. It's about the science behind mindfulness and meditation, and also we asked spiritual gurus in India, such as monks and yogis, what was the meaning of life. And so we filmed that, and we also asked everyday people around the world what was the meaning of life to them. And
my film Ranveer was actually my graduation film from Kaplan University's film program, 4-year bachelor program. So I think I kind of got a bit lucky there, because we didn't have so much financial issues or anything like that. My last film I just did, which I shot about a couple months ago, that was my first indie film outside of school. So there were some nice issues there, but that's another story. So, but for 1V, I think my biggest challenge, though, honestly, was I think because with the senior year of our program, that's the year where all the teachers and mentors are like, all right, this is all on you guys. So it's almost like we test what we've learned the whole 4 years, and now we put it all together to show everybody. And yeah, that was actually my first time really acting as a lead, directing, writing, co-producing, and then also doing my own stunts as well. So it was a lot of hats to take on for the first time. But looking back at it now, like I'm pretty proud of it, and I'm really glad people are liking it. And it just goes to show that, you know, sometimes taking a challenge isn't always a bad thing. So challenge yourself. That's how you get better at it. That's how I see it.
Speaking of challenges, what was the most challenging part of creating your film?
Budget, because we made a 20-minute film only with 170 euros, and that's the way I love the shooting times, because I didn't have the a professional help. I had only some friends who helped me during the shooting or the post-production, and all the situation it was DIY. We shooting whenever have time, and we compose the music whenever had time, and when we had free time, we making the film step by step. We made the film step by step.
Did you say 170 euros?
170 euros, yes.
Wow.
Only.
Okay. Wow, that's an achievement right there.
We started this idea in 2012. It took 5 years to make the film. It was 200 pages. But what even during there was a script, what we try to do is let them speak from their own voice, because we never had enough funding to really cast it properly. Like, let's show the world how you can make a film with no money. Like, I want to show how you can make a film based on relationships and without anything. Because I went to Sundance in 2014. I saw somebody at Slam Dance who shot a whole feature film on a cell phone. I'm like, you're amazing. And I'm like, we want to show, like, you know, filmmakers, people out there who are, you know, constantly looking for money. And we're like, listen, today you can make a film. It took 5 years. I don't know if I can do it again to prove that point, but it is doable. I think it takes a lot of persistence, determination. I mean, we went through everything from cops coming on set to our van going down like the snow and getting caught. But we had some 15 people out of nowhere push the car back out of the snow. I think if you believe, if you have faith, there's always somebody out there helping you. I let the scene go for 40 minutes sometimes without cutting it. And I'm like, are people going to understand that process? And I wanted authenticity. We lost so many actors who were outstanding, but because it was non-paid, they took them out of the film. You have to really communicate with your actors and everyone. And I think one thing is learning how to communicate with them and make everything clear in the beginning to say, well, because some of the actors who came in have never worked on a small indie film without budget. So we only had like sometimes 2-3 people on set. We wanted to keep it small because we don't have the budget. And also when you have it small, you have the freedom to do whatever we want. And I think it's about communication and making things very clear in the beginning that you might not have your star system. You might not have a trailer. There might be washrooms where we have to travel away. And sometimes there's not the kind of food on set that you might want. So tell us if you have any allergies. So I think it's about communicating.
I think you summed up quite a lot of problems that come into filmmaking. I saw a lot of heads nodding from the other directors. I suspect you had similar problems.
Diversity is key to me. And this is the same thing that gave me the inspiration to come about TINFF, the Toronto International Nollywood Film Festival. It's a way of bringing filmmakers from across the globe into one place and let them tell their stories and celebrate them.
What inspired you, or what did you find was the best part of making your movie? Or what was the most challenging part?
Yeah. So I wrote #ModelLife based on my experience in the modeling industry. And so I'm the producer, the writer, the creator. I had 200 girls come out to audition for 2 roles that I had to cast. And so I work primarily as an actor in front of the camera. So being behind the scenes and seeing my project coming together and all these people wanting to be a part of it and seeing actors act them out has been super incredible. And I think the challenge for me, at least, or what I'm experiencing right now, is because this project is so personal, putting it out there, submitting it to festivals, and then eventually having it live somewhere, like having people see it is terrifying. But I'm excited for people to see it and excited to share my message, because as a model, you don't have a voice. You're a face, or you're a body. And so being able to spread the message, especially to young girls, that the modeling industry does look all glam and does look amazing from the outside, but there's also a darker side to it. And I wanted to be able to express that in a comedic way. So it's not beating people over the head, but it is laughable, but it's also questioning what this industry is really doing. So yeah.
Clearly a very emotional experience for you.
Yeah.
Story is very character driven. It hinges on the performances of the characters, because it was an intimate story of this couple. So you needed to believe them. So I think this was the miracle from God, because we found our lead actress the night before we started filming. We had an actress before, but things were just not working out, schedule and stuff like that. And if we didn't find an actress, and when you see the movie, you see what I'm talking about. She delivered. And the name of the film is The Love Between Us. If we didn't find an actress, I was going to lose everything. We paid actors, we paid crew. I mean, little stipends, but we paid everything. And that's why it even rose up to that amount. And everything else, my wife and I, we just what they had. Set design, what we had. Just a lot of work. But it was a lot of challenges, to the point that it was almost stressful. But I'm so glad that that at the end, we look at the film and people are being touched by the story and how real the relationship between this couple is. And so I'm just thankful, and I'm glad to share it with the world.
Fantastic. Sometimes if you don't have the challenges, it doesn't feel as you've accomplished something. Yeah. You probably would have had to put on a wig if you didn't find that lead actor.
I wasn't shaving my beard, so.
But today, everything goes, right? Nobody would care. TJ, a question for you. A lot of these videos, you're going to be promoting them and also giving a distribution channel for video on demand. Can you tell us how that's going to work?
What we're doing, we're trying to reaching out to distributors to get more distributors to come and be part of this. What platform where independent filmmakers they're able to create additional market for their films. Currently we have some interest. We have Afro Global, they're a TV network. They have a platform with Roger TV. My vision is for this festival to grow as bigger as the Toronto International Film Festival. We will get there. That is the vision, you understand me? We cannot do it alone. We can only achieve that through the support of everybody, including the filmmakers. Whether you are here this year, you're not here next year, we need your support, because in the future you have another project. And if by the time you get your next project, we already have this platform set up for you, it will be much easier. You understand me?
Please come and see the film, because this film is about breaking barriers between us, breaking walls, not passing a judgment on skin tones. And it's about coming together. It's about just, coming together as a whole one. And it doesn't matter what country, what religion, what ethnicity, we're all connected, we're all one.
And the film again?
The film is called We.
Since we have the filmmakers here, it's all about them. We cannot screen every film. So if your film is not being screened, it's not because we don't want to screen it. It's just because we have so much films to screen at the venue. But what we are trying to do, we are trying to have a year-round screening, just like you have the Toronto International Film Festival and all the Black Film Festival and other film festivals they do. You understand me? So we're going to have a monthly screening of films, you know, so we'll just have a year-round from this edition to the next edition, so that we can get your films out there and see how we can attract what's called industry people, the distributors and all that, to come and screen films and see how you can get opportunity. So we're going to be contacting you guys shortly, immediately after the festival, for those who want to be part of this.
On September 7th, we have our screening and awards as well at the York Cinemas in Richmond Hill. So I hope to see you all there. You can catch me on September 7th.
I'm also going to be talking to a lot of you backstage, behind the scenes at the event, and I look forward to filling in a few of the gaps that maybe we didn't capture here today. Thanks for coming. It's a wrap.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Peter.
Good luck on your future projects.
Thank you.
Thank you.